Welcome back to Blind Item Breakdown. Our first item is about Justin Bieber, Hailey, and their son, Jack. It reads, the north of the border singer can't handle being a dad. He wants to pretend he's 20 again. Plus, his significant other used to be his mother, but now she has an actual child to mother. Now, being a parent is difficult. Shout out to all those parents out there, and I could see why Justin maybe wasn't prepared for the job because of what his life has been like up until this point. And I can also see how Hailey has been like a mother figure to him, trying to make sure he's okay. But now they have an actual kid. He needs to man up, but he doesn't really have the support to do so. That's why we see him out partying at clubs with Sexy Red when Hailey is, I guess, at home taking care of their son. I mean, I'm all for Justin having fun, but I mean, shoot, we just got back from Coachella. I'm still exhausted. I don't know how he's keeping up. This comment reads, karma for her stealing him from Selena. She'll never find peace for being a thief. Now, I don't want to take away Justin's autonomy. He was able to decide who he wanted to be with, and ultimately it was his choice to go and marry Hailey. Another comment reads, gee, saying a prayer for Justin. First, a youth surrounded by predators, and now an adulthood with no stability. I pray he gets the help and support he needs. Another person added that he and Britney Spears are birds of a feather, just a decade apart. I can actually see what they are talking about. I mean, Justin and Britney do have similar lives, and we will be talking about Britney in a moment. This comment reads, poor Hailey has 2 babies to look after. Lucky they can afford nannies. J Mama wrote, I pray that Justin gets help and doesn't do to others what was done to him. Feel bad for what was done to him, and I do, but there's more reasons than just destroying himself as to why he needs help. He can take others down with him, including his son. Okay, we were getting really dark there. So I want to talk about this headline where we see that Justin is, he's smiling. He looks pretty happy to me. Justin appears to have gotten his spark back as sources exclusively tell the Daily Mail that on Tuesday that he and his ride or die, Hailey, are actively working to save their marriage. The insider added that Hailey craves the Justin that she fell in love with. The way their relationship is now, they both know it could be better. Justin and Hailey are very much aware that if they were to split, it would lead to Justin going into a complete tailspin, and he could struggle to recover from that. So it looks like Hailey's trying to be his support system, which it just, everything feels wrong, doesn't it? I mean, we all know how they got together, but even the situation just gives me handler vibes. And why is Justin kind of turning on his wife, like the person who's supposed to be his partner in life?
Everybody's making their speculations about Justin Bieber because I guess Hailey Bieber put out a cry for help for Justin in her inside friend group. And everybody's saying, well, I just think it's with all the Diddy stuff coming out and like his mental health, like it's a mental thing that it's like, it's drugs. He's on drugs. He's a drug addict. He's been one. His journey has been up and down, but like it's drugs. Like when you know when someone's on drugs and acting on drugs, you know. Like with all the shit coming out, yes, that's maybe why he's doing drugs. But I honestly really don't think he gives a shit about Selena. I don't think he gives a shit about Hailey, and not like in like a mean way, but in a way of like, I have so much shit going on with me and I am not healed and nobody else can fix it but me and God, but instead I decided to get married. Like he doesn't give a fuck about those 2 girls. He probably can't even have enough emotion to be there for his kid that much either.
I used to think quitting my bad habit would be impossible. Plot twist, I was right. Because for me, it wasn't about quitting, it was about replacing. And that's where Fume comes in. Fume is part of this new flavored air movement. It's not a vape, it's not a diffuser, it's just flavored air. No nicotine, no vapor, no batteries. It gives you that satisfying mouthfeel without any chemicals or the smoke. And yeah, it actually tastes good. I've been using the crisp mint core. It's clean, refreshing, and surprisingly effective. You don't realize how much you need something until you realize how often you go and reach for it. And the design is super sleek. It's got this magnetic airflow ring that clicks when you turn it, and I catch myself fidgeting with it even when I'm not using it. But what really stood out to me is how easy it is to use. There's no charging, there's no mess, or any learning curve. You just grab it and go, and it's honestly become part of my daily routine. If you're thinking about changing a habit or just over whatever cycle you're stuck in, Fume is a solid choice. Go and try Fume at tryfume.com tryfume.com/Sloan and use my code Sloan to get a free fume topper when you order your journey pack. Again, that's tryfume.com/Sloan and use code Sloan at checkout. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. On to our next blind item. Since we're in the Justin Bieber universe, let's talk about Selena Gomez. You guys know we like to get a little bit messy. This one's about Benny Blanco as well. It reads, "It is telling stories like this that are going to get the boyfriend in trouble. He says that his singer, actress, producer, girlfriend has an SEX bed that is different than the bed that she sleeps in." Oh, Selena, she's freaky. I don't know why I kind of expected that. Like, something about Selena gives me like that she's a little bit freaky. Maybe it's the way she talks. It's like the way she speaks. I'm like, you know what? I just know that she and Benny, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to stop myself there. Maybe she'll be pregnant soon. This comment reads, "I think that's a great idea. They should say you should only sleep in your bed and nothing else. Every home should have an SEX bed." So it looks like Benny Blanco might be onto something. Another comment rates, "Here I am wondering what the F is an SEX bed." Well, it looks like Selena Gomez is a happy girl. Not only is Benny Blanco bending her down with his Blanco, but he's also feeding her up with Taco Bell. Or maybe she's binning his Blanco. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something catchy. Selena and Benny turn up the heat in their first joint album, I Said I Love You First, talking about their romance both in and out of the bedroom. TMI. I mean, if you've listened to the album, you could hear lyrics like, "You want me to act like the bad girls you put on your knees. Kiss me like we're meant for each other. Put your hands on me. Ride it like a cowboy." She sings, "I just want to go all night. I just want to go insane." And it doesn't stop there, because she then goes on to sing about his big, big, hard heart. Okay, Selena, I see you. Benny said she'd wake up, I'd have a pen out, and I'd write what was on her mind. Then would go into the other room and create it. It became a song. I wonder if the other room is that special room. Now, Selena's album, I actually really enjoy it, but it did underperform, which is why I think they're doing even more press. The record label pretty much set her up for failure. We did a deep dive into that if you want to go check out that story.
Now that the album's done, do we move on to wedding planning now? Is that the...
No, I'm actually shooting season 5 of Only Murders right now. He has to do some work stuff too, so.
Now you're planning the wedding, and I'm sure the music's going to be amazing.
Well, yeah, I'll definitely, we're definitely not planning exactly this road, but we do want to make sure that the music's good, and I'm going to let that be his job.
Now, I almost started with this blind item because this is something I keep hearing over and over again, and I kind of feel like, in my opinion, allegedly it could be true. And we're talking Travis Barker and his damn daughter, Alabama. She can't shut her mouth. This blind item reads, "The father of the state's celebrity was already creepy, but with this weekend, he is trying to set up his daughter with guys, and most of them are his age." And it's about Alabama being at Coachella. Now, I did not see her there, but according to this blind item, it seems like she was busy. She was being put to work. This comment reads, "Maybe he should split the difference and find some mature 20-somethings. At least he isn't trying to set her up with fratties who just want her for clout." Creepy Madonna commented, "Okay, but why is he doing that, pimping her? He doesn't exactly need the money." Another person added, "Anyone he sets her up with can't possibly be any worse than who she'd choose for herself." It's sad that the comments almost like agree with Travis, because Alabama's judgment is so bad. But Alabama Barker's Coachella photo with her father gives fans the ick. It looks like she wore a little bright yellow number, and took a photo with her dad, Travis. A photo of Alabama posing with her dad, both flashing peace signs, shows Travis leaned in with a pouty duck lips expression while his daughter smiled in her signature style. Oh God, I feel like I just lost brain cells reading that. Oh, okay, I see the investigators out here snapping a bunch of pictures. Also, like, what? I don't need to see that. People commented that the fact that her father likes these posts gives her the ick. Another user chimed in, "You're very pretty, but not a nice person." Wow. There are a lot of compliments. People saying that she's a pretty girl and a beautiful young lady. But she has been getting a bad reputation for herself lately, and therefore the Barker family. Honestly, Travis Barker needs to stop worrying about who his daughter is dating and worry about that feud that's been going on with Bad Baby, because she's really slowly taking them all down. And I live for it.
It's Alabama Barker. Alabama Barker. I should ask her if she has any response to Bad Baby. Danielle, what's it going to take to squash the beef with Alabama? What's that? You are? What's up, Alabama? I just want to say hi. Oh, it's all good. You good? Why do you need so much security for Travis Barker's daughter? For the drummer of Blink? If you're the daughter of some 90s punk band, feel free. You're going to have a full on-the-clock security.
This next blind item is about Isabella Ferrer, Blake Lively, and of course the movie It Ends With Us. It reads, the actress who once let this A-list actress co-star dress her for every red carpet and couldn't be up her butt enough, discovered she was lied to and then took down every image of the pair together from social media. Now, people quickly caught on that Isabella Ferrer was the one removing these posts with Blake Lively, seemingly trying to make her side known or at least dissociate with Blake. This comment reads, it's about Isabella because she left one photo where you couldn't see Blake's face. Now, personally, if I was close to Blake Lively, I would have been out the door a long time ago. And it seems like Blake's inner circle is crumbling after one of her closest friends seemingly cleaned up most of the signs of the actress from her social media pages. So her co-star Isabella has deleted a bunch of these photos of her and Blake together. It looks like a source claims that Isabella deleted her photos with Blake at the advice of those around her. Blake wants to drag her into this lawsuit and asked her to back her up on accusations of harassment, but Isabella could not do this because she didn't personally see this. Interesting, because, you know, we are going to court soon. We're going to have to get our witnesses, get our discoveries, our testimonies, and I wonder how many people Justin has in his party versus Blake's. I mean, she doesn't have Isabella. Isabella was very naive when she was cast, and everything to her was a privilege. She was so focused on her character that she didn't have the time to get involved in any gossip. Sounds like a convenient excuse, Isabella. Honestly, I would be giving the same message. I mean, that's smart, you know. Since it's like also it's like kind of makes Blake look bad because it's like, yeah, I didn't see anything. Quote, she knows that defending anyone against accusations when she didn't see this herself with her own two eyes could be very damaging to her career. She understands this is a career move. She feels shafted, and deleting her photos with Blake was no accident. Now, in the movie, Isabella played the younger version of Blake Lively's character, Lily Bloom, and has been a fierce supporter of the actress. In one interview this past summer, she even called Blake Lively an angel. I have so many different quotes right here that Isabella has said about Blake that are so kind, like, to be able to connect with the person that you're sharing a role with is huge, and she's just a really good person. I mean, you guys connected so much, you worked together so much. I can't believe she didn't confide in you that she was going through this with Justin Baldoni. So this is a big loss for Blake because she's not getting her friend's support. It looks like they are no longer friends, and more crew members who were behind the scenes are starting to voice how they really feel about this lawsuit.
Uh-oh, we have another crew member that's speaking out against Blake Lively, claiming she took advantage of Justin Baldoni. Not only that, but one of Blake's dragons apparently seems to have flown the coop and is now turned on her. And this woman was a crew member on the set of It Ends With Us, and she's claiming that Justin Baldoni was too nice and that Blake Lively exploited that. These two had gotten really close during the promotional tour, right? Isabella was saying that Blake Lively would invite her over and they would have sleepovers and they'd become good friends, even though throughout production, they never filmed any scenes together. And why would they, right? They're playing the same person. But now Isabella has completely erased any photos or mention of Blake Lively on her Instagram account. People close to Isabella told her she needs to just back away from all of this drama. Now, why is this so juicy? Well, because Blake Lively claimed that there were other actresses on the set of It Ends With Us. There were these alleged HR complaints that have yet to be verified, but there were, rumors that Isabella may have been one of Blake Lively's dragons on the set. Then we've already seen, Isabella's text message to Justin Baldoni and her interview where she speaks highly of Baldoni and she praises her on-set experience with Baldoni. So at this point, Blake's case continues to fall apart.
This comment reads, Isabella was 100% targeted and love-bombed by Blake. It is a power move of manipulators to charm as many as they can before isolating their target. Genevieve writes, Isabella seems annoyed with how Blake would talk over her in interviews and how Blake styled her for all the promotions. I can't wait until she gives us her deposition. That's one thing I was thinking too when I was talking about the discovery and testimony. There's a world where she will have to go in there and give her testimony because she was frankly there, and clearly Blake is trying to pull her in. Autumn wrote, I definitely trust the crew. Let's take it back to a blind item about Whitney Houston. Also, Ray J. Also, shout out to Ray J. I've been trying to get into contact with you. I have been emailing your manager, David, and I'm trying to get into contact with you. So if you guys want to go and tell Ray J that Sloan wants to talk, let him know. I've got something special. Okay, this blind item reads, the former reality star, PORN star celebrity, hasn't been the same since the death of the permanent A-list singer. Aw, he knows what he did. Oh gosh, this is not the time for me to okay, this is all alleged, Ray J. This is blind item breakdown. He knows what he did. He also brought in the 3 named enabler. Some say those 2 would hook up while the singer would watch. So we're talking about Ray J, Whitney Houston, Raffles Van Exel. Now, we have covered Whitney Houston before on my main channel, and I believe in a podcast episode as well. There's a lot of confusion surrounding her death, and a lot of people who have pointed fingers, and Ray J's name has come up before in the past. This is an article from 2012. It reads, an aide to Whitney Houston has confessed to clearing her room before police arrived following her death. The self-described entertainment consultant, Raffles Van Exel, admitted that he carried out the action to Dutch Telegraph newspaper, saying someone had to do it. However, he stopped short of saying exactly what he removed from the suite, an important omission following claims that there were drugs removed from the scene. It had previously been claimed that Whitney's dealer had eliminated all traces of the drugs from the singer's room after finding her drowned in the bath. No traces of any drugs were ever found at the hotel room, and it's so crazy to see the Beverly Hills Hotel. Every time I drive by it, I think about Whitney Houston and Paris Hilton's 21st birthday party. One source who's extremely close to the situation tells us that the individual who removed the drugs was also the person who supplied it to Whitney. A spokesperson for Ray J slammed the allegations made by Lola Brown on Dr. Drew's show that the 31-year-old may have provided the late star with these drugs that contributed to her tragic death, saying her interview was rife with false statements. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. What you're going to see is an interview of Whitney Houston's sister talking about what she believed happened to her sister.
Please excuse me, I just have to come out and say this. Listen, I saw Ray J coming out of the hotel, hiding his head, being pushed into the car. Why? I looked and I said, why is he hiding? Why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face when he's around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide now, Ray J? And I put it all together. When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag.
Okay.
Yes. I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up. So I am going to believe that Ray J, who Whitney told me she had no relationship with, but I know clearly that he wasn't. He was, like she said, a runner boy. For some reason, he knows somebody that sells drugs, and he was buying them for Whitney, from what I know, and giving her drugs.
Now, of course, Ray J doesn't like these accusations from Whitney's sister. His publicist, Courtney, told E! News that Lola Brown, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, was nowhere near the Beverly Hills Hotel on the day that Whitney had passed away, so she would not have this recollection to know. She said that anyone who knows Whitney would know that she hasn't even been in contact with her sister for more than a year, so she was nowhere near the scene on the day of her death. But I do question why Ray J was hiding his face, and we actually do have a clip of this moment that she described to Dr. Drew. A little suspicious if you ask me. Poor Britney Spears. Oh, I've been hearing about her more and more lately, and it's just not good news. This item reads, the last time the permanent A-list singer went to the south of the border country, she was almost killed by people that would benefit most from her death. I'm not sure why she would go back to Mexico. Now, Britney has talked about wanting to move to Mexico. I believe she was there in December, maybe a little bit early, like October, November time, but she was wanting to move there. There were rumors of her having access to things that nobody should be doing down there, like not math, but with an E, We do actually like math over here. I studied statistics. This comment reads, I feel like this is a different Britney. She doesn't seem like the same person. Another person writes, I don't think her family wants her dead. That's a few steps too far for me. But did you see the reborn doll she has? My gosh. Sometimes I think she's smart as hell, doing all this stuff to keep people talking about her. She shows a lot of crazy, which I don't like to use the term crazy. I mean, you do not know what she has gone through. And I don't think this person means it maliciously. I think it's just like, we don't understand what she could have gone through and what the drugs could have done to her and her brain. And also, she could be perfectly fine. Maybe this person's right. Maybe she's aware of what she's doing. This comment reads that she was forced to, plain and simple. Another person questioned, what's up with the baby doll the bodyguard was carrying? Reminds me of Megan going for a hike with the baby carrier years ago in BC. Now, I can understand why. Okay, you know what? Actually, I don't understand. I don't have anything to say about reborn dolls. I do not know what the significance means. I do not understand the community, and I'm not shading the community or anything. I think it's probably very healing for a lot of people. I don't really like the creepiness here. I think it's kind of judgmental. And again, I'm not going to talk about reborn community. I see it on TikTok, and I think if there's something that someone has gone through that is traumatic and there is a way to cope with that and to heal with that, or to at least alleviate some symptoms, then God, go and do it. Do what you need to do, babe. And maybe Britney needs her baby doll. I mean, I feel like she and Sam were talking about having a baby, so maybe she's like longed for another kid. And it looks like look at her bodyguard's face. It looks like he's carrying around the baby. Also, I love how Britney's just like casually with this doll. It's like she is going on a trip somewhere, and it's her and her baby, and it's all she needs. She wrote in the caption, I had a baby, y'all. I'll be taking some time off shooting at home every day. Her nursery is beautiful, and her name is Brennan. We even look alike. My first girl. Oh, okay. It's kind of cute.
Oh, look at that.
I feel like they have ones that look more real than this, right?
You look just like each other.
They definitely have some that I feel like have the eyes open at least. Maybe this is like a sleepy baby. I'm more interested in looking in the background. How's that fireplace? Because I was worried about a home fire, and we've got a baby now here. Since arriving to Mexico on Thursday, which Mexico sounds so nice, it's been so gloomy in Los Angeles, but Britney shared footage of herself posing naked on the beach all day and showing off her lingerie in a near nude photo. Before the trip, Page Six confirmed that Britney is now single. She's no longer with her on and off again boyfriend, Paul, who is an ex-convict. I believe he's a father of 9. He's a problem. So I'm glad he's out of there. I'd rather have the baby doll around than have this weirdo Paul. Now this is freaky deaky. Taylor Swift's friend, Jaime King. Okay, wait. Let me not get ahead of myself. This blind item reads, Orange thinks it is the system's fault that she lost her kids and not the fact that she was involved in a drug-fueled orgy. We're gonna censor that. While they were at her home. And this is about Jaime King. I just know you guys are gonna eat me up in the comments because I don't really know who Jaime King is. She's the godmother to Taylor Swift's son. She's been in Black Summer and Heart of Dixie, Pearl Harbor, Sin City, White Chicks, which that's the only one I've seen out of this list, Ocean 8s, and Lights Out. She was a supermodel before getting into acting. I mean, I'm sure she's great at what she does, but let's talk about this blind item. This comment reads, the presence of drugs when small children are in the same home is sheer stupidity. Grow up and get your act together. Another person said, well, thankfully, the system did indeed make that decision. Light Brigade commented, I read this and she didn't take responsibility at all. It was the American justice system. Talk about clueless. Tink commented, this is a very sad situation. She's been modeling since she was a young girl. I don't think anyone realizes what she's gone through. It's terribly sad. It's not something to make fun of somebody so sick. Now, I am just kind of taken back right now because I don't know what is up with the Jaime, so we need to go and look at the headlines. And geez, it looks like Jaime is going through it. Taylor Swift's pal Jaime King reveals why it's been terrifying having her kids taken away. I would not wish that upon my worst enemy. I mean, unless they're abusing their children. Jaime King revealed what is scary about losing custody of her children amid, a bitter custody battle. It looks like she was forced to move out of her Hollywood Hills rental last March and got candid about the topic during an episode of Wind Down, a podcast with Janet Kramer. This comes 2 weeks after Jaime broke her silence after losing custody of her sons, James, 11, and Leo, 9, who she shares with her ex-husband, Kyle Newman, which that is like really sad to lose the custody battle, especially when her kids are so young. I mean, these are crucial years, 11 and 9. Hopefully they have like a privileged setting to where the kids are not going to be like, you know, it's not detrimental, but really sad. I mean, of course they want their mom around. She said, my duty as a mother is to protect my children, and that's all that matters to me. This is scary. I just didn't know when I got married at a young age. I just didn't know what the world works like. I didn't know that the legal system works like this. Now, she did get married at 28. I wanted to look at that because I was like, oh wait, how young was she? Was she like an 18-year-old bride? But she was 28, which I still think is very young. I mean, I'm 30 years old. Have not been married. One day I hope so, but nonetheless, I understand what she means. I mean, at 28, she probably had no idea where her life was going to go. Jaime was banned from being alone with her children until she completed a mandated drug and alcohol program, which if the woman is struggling with like addiction, I can understand why the children's father would want to go and protect them from that. I mean, that's reasonable, right? While on the podcast, she also brought up the claims that she was ordered to go through this program, saying, I've never had to think about myself as sober or not sober. I stopped using when I was 17 years old or something. Which I don't know if this is just like a nasty custody battle to where he's like nitpicking and able to like put her in this position. But at the same time, like if she hasn't like touched drugs since she was like in her teens, I don't quite understand how you find yourself in a program. But here's a clip of herself explaining it.
The only wrong thing to be doing as a parent is to not be keeping your kids safe and healthy and protected and loved. Say, take care of yourself so you can take care of others. Love yourself and love others, and don't hurt yourself and don't hurt others. If I do something, I take accountability for it. Being a parent is the most, you know, electrifying, beautiful, glorious, terrifying. It's like everything. It's like someone takes your heart and then they cut it out of you and they put it in another body, and your heart is walking around with them.
A source told The Sun that Jaime is shattered after losing this custody battle, and now that the world knows, it made everything that much harder. It causes a wedge in personal and work relationships. She has demons she's been battling for decades, but her recent troubles have been exacerbated by her family troubles, and her career is struggling and financial stress. Oh, that hurts, you know? Nobody wants to deal with all that. Jaime was sued by her landlord, Sheila, for unpaid rent in January. Looks like it's about $42,000, which in living in Los Angeles, I mean, everything's expensive, but it is crazy to see how, like, people pay like $10,000 a month for rent, $20,000 a month for rent. Like, what family did you, what like family trust fund, like did you, everyone has a trust fund in LA, I swear. Jaime has said the dispute over the rent has been settled, but she did not shy away from slamming her landlord's efforts as disappointing, saying the situation with my landlord was resolved privately. It's disappointing, but not surprising to see someone try to exploit this moment for attention. She says, I'm currently focused on what matters the most, my children. I don't know why that always makes me want to cry. Like, I just think like I can just, I don't, maybe there is like an empathy in me, like empathetic, right? Or sympathy, empathy. I don't know. It makes me want to cry because I cannot imagine being in a position like that where your children are taken away from you. Also, though, I don't know if she's a safe person for them to be around. Sounds like the father doesn't think so. Now, her ex-husband, Kyle, does have a case. He says that she doesn't have the abilities to financially support the kids. They've had to deal with drug testing efforts and days where she's not shown up. So there have been problems for Jaime for quite some time. And it's really sad to see, like, talent like this in Hollywood just kind of lose themselves. And now she's blaming the system, but I think it's more than just the legal system. I think it's the entire entertainment system.
Having children is a very paradoxical experience because it's terrifying and exciting and so joyful, but you're just like, ugh. You know, there's like all of these feelings going on at once because you realize that you're just a human being and you're responsible for this other beautiful little person, and you don't want anything to hurt or touch it in any ill way.
Now, I just saw Lady Gaga at Coachella, and if you guys did not see my Coachella video, definitely go and check that out. This blind item is about Lady Gaga and Lena Morgana. I've never done this, like paused before we actually read the blind item, but I want to state that I made a video about Lady Gaga and Lena Morgana. It's a conspiracy, essentially, that like Lena Morgana's soul and talent and artistry was stolen and kind of like sacrificed by Lady Gaga. It's far-fetched, I know. But there are people who come up to me still out in public and tell me that Lena video like changed them. So a lot of people do believe in this. If you think this permanent A-list singer has just gone satanic, you have not been paying attention. This blind item reads, go back in time to before she became famous and how that girl died and the singer took her place. Now, I do want to add on to what I said before and say that it's not all conspiracy. There was a position at a record label that Lena Morgana had. When she was gone, Lady Gaga took it. She also, I believe, like allegedly took some of the music early in the days. I can't like speak to it right now. I did that video a couple years ago. This comment reads, "This is Lena Morgana and Gaga. Lena and Gaga had the same manager, and I think he picked Gaga to back and support rather than Lena, who then took her own life. That is the rumor that I have heard. Lena does not even have a Wikipedia page, so who knows?" Another commenter asked, "So before Lady Gaga took over, did Madonna kill an up-and-coming singer and dancer to take her place? Surely Lady Gaga is not the first Satan worshiper to make a deal with the devil." Another person writes in this comment section that Lena Morgana was a singer who was destined for fame before her tragic death at 19 in 2008. She worked with Lady Gaga and this guy named Rob. Lady Gaga provided back vocals on some of Lena's songs, yet it's hard to know what is true and what is not. Rumors over the years have suggested that Lena was meant to be given the Lady Gaga persona, but it was given to Lady Gaga instead, crushing Lena and leaving her depressed. Now, I do want to briefly give you guys a little bit of receipts to back this up. We have an article from 2010 that talks about how Lena Morgana was the blueprint for what Lady Gaga became.
Lena died in 2008. Witnesses reported that she was on a rooftop, seemingly very happy, and then the next second, she was hurled off of the rooftop.
Now, Lena's ex-manager says that Lady Gaga did write some of the musician's songs, and they recorded 12 more songs that were not released. It looks like Lena's mother, or her mother, actually accuses Lady Gaga of stealing her daughter's fashion style, performance techniques, and dramatic stagecraft. She also told the paper that Lady Gaga assumed her daughter's dark side, saying that Lady Gaga talks about having a dark and tragic life, but she had everything she ever wanted in this world. She went to the same high school as Nikki Hilton. Her parents were rich, but Lena did have a tough life. Lady Gaga hit the national stage a month after Lena Morgana died. Now, when it comes to Rob, it seems like the rumor is that Lady Gaga ended up pursuing him and dating him, which is why he ended up choosing her over Lena. So the ex-boyfriend and producer Rob did sue Lady Gaga for $30 million back in 2010, saying he discovered her, but she countersued in March. Now, like I told you guys in my Coachella recap, I got some bad vibes from Lady Gaga's performance. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just saying, like, maybe it was just the environment, too many people. You guys know I'm not like that great in crowds. Like, I was just trying to mind my business and stay in the back. But I get overwhelmed by like situations like that, and by concerts in general. But so then when I'm seeing something that is so clearly like almost like evil, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just feel like overwhelmed by this. Wait. Now that I just put this together, so there was like this moment like in the performance where Lady Gaga was like fighting herself, or like an old version of herself. And I wonder if that's like significant of like Lena Morgana, like her kind of battling her for this place in Hollywood and, you know, in the music industry. So like this is like the old Lady Gaga here. Bring her to me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was all the way in the back. Wow, so this is like her telling the story of like her taking the soul of Lena and winning.
Dance.
Now, one person pointed out that Lady Gaga was wearing this red outfit, which a fan wrote that the red hood was Lena's original costume, the Poker Face single cover, but she came back as the Mistress of Mayhem in 2025. Now, I feel like our next blind item is 100% true. It's not even a blind item. It's about Wendy Williams and Judge Lisa. It reads, I wrote in this space not long ago that the judge in the illiterate former talk show's case could be bought. I think we all saw that front and center this week. And I am 100% on this. I think Judge Lisa has been bought. It is my opinion. It's alleged, but I mean, she's so corrupt. How are you going to tell Wendy Williams to her face that her career is over? What have you ever done? I don't see you as Judge Judy. It's not Judge Lisa, it's Judge Judy, because she's entertaining. We don't know who you are. And I don't know who's filling up your bank account to make statements like this. This comment reads, I just don't get how this is happening in this country. This woman is practically a prisoner. Another person adds, it's so bizarre. I don't understand how the judge can say Wendy's career is over. How is this legal? Now it starts with Sabrina Morsi, Wendy's guardian, and then it goes to the judge, because Sabrina, this, I wanted to call her like a bad name, but she's like, I don't like Sabrina. We don't like Sabrina on this channel. She is the one who's bitching to the judge and trying to get Wendy in trouble. And the woman who's also in control of Wendy's every move, trying to move her into a new living facility that's even stricter. I actually met Don Lemon at a Spotify party, and he was so nice. I talked to him for a couple of minutes. He was so nice. Isn't it nice when people who are like famous, like, are just kind and normal? Anyways, he was asked about his recent encounter with Wendy. Here's what he had to say.
So you hung out with Wendy a few nights ago. What was that like?
It's great. I mean, it was good to see her. I haven't seen her in a long time. I've just spoken to her. Yeah. But she looks really good, and she's in great spirits, and her aura is great, and she seems fine to me. She ate a lot. She doesn't like the food where she is, so she ate a lot, and I was happy she did.
People were saying, you know, like in the comments, well, this is karma. Bad karma for Wendy.
What's bad karma for her?
Just everything that's happening to her. It's because of what she said about people in the past.
Karma, really? I don't think karma works that way. I don't think people understand how karma really works.
Sending love to Wendy Williams, but let's bring it back to Blake Lively. I mean, the streets are talking about you, Blake, and it looks like Stephanie Jones as well, Justin Baldoni's ex-publicist. This item reads, why is the publicist who's being sued adding criminal defense lawyers to her team? Are she or the A-list actress being investigated by the feds? This It Ends With Us lawsuit is the most like blown out of proportion thing I've ever seen before. I mean, I'm happy that there's, Justin's fighting back, but it's just crazy how it's becoming bigger and bigger. And if the feds get involved, I mean, it's getting to like Diddy level. Potato Salad commented, to quote Erica Jane, the more you talk about stuff, the worse it gets. Just be careful. The Owlie wrote, oh lordy, please let this be true. Another person commented, she's an idiot, truly. I read the entire thing Justin Baldoni put out. She completely inserted herself on her own after being told that she wasn't wanted. Dumb. This article reports that Justin Baldoni's former publicist, Stephanie Jones, has denied leaking text messages to Blake Lively, but it looks like now documents that have been filed show that she's not going to be able to tell us what she thinks. We're going to get the truth because now she's being summoned. Stephanie has now turned over the text messages in compliance with a subpoena. Those text messages found in a work-issued cell phone belonging to Stephanie's former partner, Jennifer Abel, became central to Blake's defamation and harassment case against Justin Baldoni. Stephanie was ordered to produce a wide range of documents and communications concerning Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. It makes me laugh hearing that this has just gone so wild. I wonder if any of it's going to be sealed. Stephanie's latest filing also claims that both Justin Baldoni and Jennifer Abel had violated their contracts with her, breaking the law in the process. Justin Baldoni's team added Stephanie Jones to their $400 million defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively last month, claiming the text messages turned over to Blake were cherry-picked to give the appearance that Melissa Nathan, another player in this Publicist world, and Jennifer Abel were orchestrating a smear campaign against Blake. Yet, a lot of us believe that Blake did it to herself, right? I mean, we didn't force Blake to go and do interviews and give us bad takes and give us awkward moments and things like that. Like, that's what she did. That's kind of like, I know we've got the lawsuit claims, but I mean, I think a lot of those interview clips and moments that she's just done completely on her own, completely by herself, are the worst of them. Blake was spotted recently. This time her hair wasn't crunching all over the cookies or the donuts or whatever she was putting her hair into up in Connecticut. She was spotted at an equestrian center in New York, scaring the horses. I'm just kidding. She's probably riding them, maybe taking care of them. I don't know. Horses are therapeutic. I know Britney likes to talk to them. Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, said it's undeniable that Stephanie Jones initiated this catastrophic sequence of events by violating the most basic of privacy rights, as well as any remaining trust her clients held. No stranger to stirring up crisis scenarios for departing clients, Stephanie Jones maliciously turned over communications from the phone she wrongfully took from her own partner to her cohort, Blake Lively's publicist, Leslie Sloan. Shout out to the Sloans out there. Comment below if your name is Sloan. I almost said Balone. Comment below if you are a Sloan. After Stephanie Jones was terminated for cause by Wayfair due to her own wrongful behavior. One thing about Brian Friedman is that he is not going to bend over. He's going to tell you how it is, and whether it's right or wrong, I don't know, but he just read her to filth.
One of the people being interviewed had stated that they were suspicious that Jones had hired people to pose as reporters to find out if they were talking about her. That's how crazy and controlling she was. One former employee recalled many times where Jones requested an assistant manager turn up the music to drown out her yelling at employees. but everyone knew what was happening. They continued by saying that there wasn't a day that someone wasn't crying in the office, and even admitted that they cried in the bathroom every single day. A former account executive recalled a time that she called out sick for a job interview, and Jones texted her asking how she was feeling, to which she responded she had been sleeping, was feeling a little bit better, trying to cover her tracks. She's trying to get away from this lady. Well, Jones was suspicious, so she FaceTimed her without any warning, and of course she didn't answer, so she wiped off her makeup really quickly and then answered the second FaceTime call. But she still had some mascara on, and Jones noticed that right away and said, "You have mascara on, you're lying." But another employee stated that she FaceTimed him when he was at a funeral. He suspected that she didn't believe him that he was actually there. Of course, Jones's representatives are denying all of it.
Our next blind item is about Charli XCX and Lorde, which I just saw them at Coachella. This blind item reads, this former A-list singer just outed the foreign-born one-named singer. This comment reads, this is what I hate. If a person wants to stay in the closet, leave them in the closet. Just because you came out doesn't give you the right to out people who are still in the closet. Now, I've been out since I was 14 years old, so I don't even know what the closet looks like anymore. But Charli XCX did fear that Lorde would never speak to her again over her hit song, Girl So Confusing. Now, of course, this was a big moment in pop culture, and I don't know exactly how this outs her. I think it kind of outs the fact that they had a feud and something going on there. Charli explained that she was like, wouldn't it be cool if I did this response? And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Yes. So she and Lorde kind of worked on this remix rather quickly and just had it out there.
I was ready for her to like never speak to me again.
Yeah.
Because that could have been an outcome.
Yeah, because you called it the day before the video came out, so too late.
Yes. Well, New Zealand gets it first.
Oh my God, so you were like, oh my God, I've got to make this call now.
Yes. But I was like, I've got to tell you about this song. And she was like, yeah, I've heard it. I was like, how have you heard it? It's not out till tomorrow. Out. But because she's got like the New Zealand
Did she know it was about her? Did she pick up on it?
She was like, I can guess which one it is. And so I was like, but she was so cool. And I was like, we sent these voice notes back and forth. I'd always wondered whether she would possibly want to kind of do a response on the remix. But she actually suggested it first. She was like, wouldn't it be cool if I did this response? And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Yes.
Last thing on this, I do want to shout out to Lorde because I love when she talks about having like body dysmorphia and singing about it in her song and being so vulnerable and honest about something that so many people deal with so often. I just think I wish more songs were about that. You know what I mean? About something that people struggle with. Why am I about to cry? I'm literally about to cry. Oh my gosh. Moving on. Now let's get into Beyonce and Jay-Z. This blind item reads, the wife of the permanent A-list rapper has so much of her wealth tied up with the rapper, she doesn't know what is hers. It was only about 18 months ago that she started doing everything separately. It is a good thing because he is on the verge of being a defendant in multiple big money class action lawsuits that would bankrupt him if he loses. I remember when Beyonce and Jay-Z got married, their divorce prenup was like every year that they are married, Beyonce gets an extra $1 million back from Jay-Z. But I wouldn't be surprised that their finances are so tied up together, and I'm sure Jay-Z loves that. This comment reads that Beyonce's effed. She'll never be able to divorce the guy without going broke. Another comment reads, Beyonce must want out. We will keep getting blinds like these, or maybe Solange is submitting them. Another person adds that Jay has been taking her money for years. Well, there was a recent report that Jay-Z's Rock Nation school is under fire as students feel deceived over debt-free promise. The school, which opened in 2021, offered some students with a Hope Scholarship, which would give them a lot of financial assistance. One of the first students to be offered one of these scholarships was a woman named Justice Stephenson, who claims that she was later informed that she owes $26,000 in student debt. Now, Justice was able to manage to negotiate this figure down to $5,000 after providing proof that she was offered debt-free education by the school. Dozens of other students are also reportedly in a similar situation after receiving letters informing them that they would be able to graduate without incurring any debt. Well, that's not true. Here's a little promo clip of his school. It kind of reminds me of how Kanye created his Donda school. I don't know why these guys are getting into education. I really don't.
The Rock Nation School has made history as the first program in Brooklyn with an integrated Atmos music curriculum in partnership with the Dolby Institute.
I got in the room with the students so I could talk about their reviews as well as give them some insight behind the song.
The largest media market in the world. This is New York City. There is nothing bigger than this. No stage is bigger than this. No place is better for you to learn.
I felt really inspired because I felt like I can really relate to their stories.
It brings over 80 years of woke collaboration.
The offer letter does not make any mention of academic fees or housing costs, so in my opinion, I feel like they tried to get them there with that loophole. Students also criticized the quality of the education, saying it was not up to par, the lectures were terrible, Rihanna and DJ Khaled were supposed to come and they never did, so it seems like a scam. If you have been scammed by Jay-Z, reach out to me at SloanWellKnown@gmail.com and let me know your story. Anyways, thank you guys for watching Blind Item Breakdown. Thank you for tuning in. I'm still like exhausted from Coachella. Like that's how I know I'm getting older, because I'm like slumped and it's like Wednesday. Shout out to our editor Olivia for getting this out for us on Thursday. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for tuning in. Please go and rate us on Spotify or Apple Music. Also go and check out the Let's Get Into It podcast. Some exciting things are going to be happening there, and don't forget about that message to Ray J. I want Ray J to reply because I've got something for him. But until next time, I will see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys. Again, shout out to our sponsor. That is tryfume.com/Sloan, and use my code Sloan to get a free Fume topper when you order your journey pack. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy.